Hey everybody. Hey everybody. It's me, Kirsten, and this is the It's Giving Mystical Podcast. And this is your podcast for the week ahead, the week of August 14th. Okay, guys. So the card I pulled for us is the Seven of Wands, which we know this card's been with us a couple times this year already. It's the card of like, I'm allowed to have space for myself. It's the card of just give me a minute, just give me a minute. Let's just think about where we are for a second. There's something happening in this eclipse season. Well, the best way I can describe it is something's melting, something that you were like, oh, this. It felt so clear. And this question of clarity is really interesting because there's this like I should be saying to you, it's really bright and light and it's sunny and it's fire horse and follow your dreams and go after it. But there's something about that that's like a mirage or a myth or that mirage is a perfect example. In the desert, there's heat, it's so hot, there's so much sun that you're like, "Oh, that must be my savior. That must be the thing that's going to save me." And it's a mirage. There's something about the things you really need, the things that are really transforming inside you, the places you're supposed to be, quote unquote, spending your energy. Something's falling away, something's melting, something's disappearing. And it has this sense of like crumbling or melting, or this felt so solid. This felt so solid before. And all of a sudden, wait, was that even real? Did I even ever want that? Why did I want that? Why was that so clear? Why did that feel like it was the thing? There's something very interesting happening, but it's just so counterintuitive. It's even hard to put words around like, okay, this is solid. This is the plan. And then there's all this other stuff happening and you kind of come out the other side and you're like, wait, what? What was the plan? Why was that the plan? This is actually where I am. I'm actually happy here. There's something really lovely about the Seven of Wands coming in at this moment to be like, you've actually created something real. You've created a space for yourself. Don't discount that. Don't discount how hard you fought to create some kind of safe space for yourself. Usually when the Seven of Wands comes in, we're feeling a little bit defensive. Something, again, alchemical is happening. This is our fire energy, our like chi, our life force going through a seven, going through a transformation. So it's very hard to hold it. It's very hard to articulate it. It's very hard to be like, oh, this is exactly what's going on, because it's some kind of deeper reordering or deeper alchemical shift that's, again, hard to articulate. So when the Seven of Wands comes up, there's two things we're kind of keeping in mind. We're keeping in mind you have the right to claim space for yourself, full stop. We're also keeping in mind that the Seven of Wands, there's a little bit of fear running. There's a little bit of unease with the quality of this transformation because it's so core, it's so fundamental. And because it's seven, it's so hard to get a grasp of. So it's just kind of this internal, unsettled or internal rotation that's happening that can, while it's happening, be confusing. And while it's happening, feel like I can't quite get it. I can't quite grasp it. And yet it feels very real. And so there's just this just discomfort, unease with the profound depth of the transformation. And at the same time, the inability to kind of maybe draw a straight line or speak about it really clearly. So those things always come up with the Seven of Wands. We're always talking about something mysterious happening with our fire energy. And the result is we are seeking a safe space, almost like a cocoon or a safe room or a pause or a plateau to just go and rest for a minute because something is shifting. And it's not like you're becoming a werewolf, but it has that vibe in like a werewolf movie where they transition for the first time. I don't know. Stay with me, guys, if you want to. Where they transition for the time, oh my God, what's happening? And on the other side of that is so much more power and strength and fluidity and life. But while you're in it, you're like, I don't know what's happening to my body. It's kind of like that. A little bit of a puberty vibe to it. There's some way in which you are not going to be the same on the other side of it, but you don't really know what that entails. That also is that moon, that strength moon energy with us. These lighthouses or these anchors we've had around solar energy, around masculine energy, around purpose-driven living, around hustle culture, around visibility, around my worth being tied to how I'm perceived, all of that stuff is not going to be with us in the future. Is that such a bold thing to say? But yeah, I think that's true. I feel that here. And again, I can't even articulate it exactly, so I could be saying it and it could take a left turn, but the idea of things that felt solid crumbling, melting, disintegrating is also here with us. The cool thing about the August energy, if you listen to the long form August podcast, is that these new kind of lights emerge in the field. Like, oh, interesting. I didn't think about that. That wasn't on my radar, but all of a sudden it feels really alive and really vital, and I'm interested in it again. And I'm gonna go where my interest is, go where the life is, go where the energy is. So, Seven of Wands with us always talks about the things I just discussed. It always talks about this kind of mysterious transformation. When I pulled it right now, a couple of things came through. One was like, yeah, this give me a minute, just give me a minute. So this week, give yourself a minute, give other people a minute. It's okay to pause. It's okay to move at the pace that feels right to you. It's okay to take the time you need. So that first full permission there. The other thing I got was, now here we'll talk about clarification, a clarity emerging on what's worth fighting for. It might be that things that you used to give away in the past or cede territory to in the past, that's just not feeling good anymore. And you're not sure, again, like how to be, who to be if you're not. And this was Aquarius is in the monthly podcast. This was something that Aquarius was encountering. This idea that they had been fighting this battle for so long that they didn't know who they were once they put the swords down. It's not quite that dramatic here, but it is a sense of I've ceded this territory before. It hasn't served me. And in this new life I'm creating, I won't cede that territory anymore. And I will say at the bottom of the deck was the Two of Cups. And there was this sense of how you share energy, how you relate. Maybe it's romantically, maybe it's Two of Cups is usually a pretty romantic card, so it can have to do with your intimate relationships. But it could be more broad than that. It could just be how I give, how I share, how I exchange energy. But and this was for Scorpio, this was Scorpio's monthly thing. How do you maintain a sense of your own safety, your own territory, your own safe space, and also be in dynamic, be in relationship, be in love? And what's that like? And Roberta, who's a friend of mine, a local friend of mine, and a therapist and a shaman and just a brilliant teacher and woman, she talks a lot about that contact barrier, that you can't meet someone in relationship if you are not whole in yourself. Otherwise, it just gets messy real fast. And this Seven of Wands, it doesn't feel like give me a minute in terms of withholding. It feels like give me a minute in that I'm just trying to remember what it's like to stand as me before I either invite you into the space or before I step towards your space. What I will say about this is sometimes the Seven of Wands comes up and it feels like, chill, man, chill. Like you're doing too much. It doesn't feel like that here. What it feels like here is you have a right. You have a right to take up space. You have a right to say, give me a minute. You have a right to pause and create an environment in your own system where you can hear what you need. It sounds so simple, and how often do we actually do that? But this pausing of, it's almost like I have to pause to listen for what I need authentically. Not like a reactive need, but like an authentic, what do I need here? And there's something about the Seven of Wands, it just feels like a pause. It feels like a wait, 1 minute, 1 minute. So wherever you are this week, you have full permission to pause. You have full permission to say, give me a minute. You have full permission to process at the speed you're processing at. And that doesn't prevent, there's a way in which you can do that. That doesn't prevent you from being in connection and sharing your cup and receiving love from other people. It's like maybe part of what we're learning is that love is not sacrifice. Love is not a lack of boundaries. It sounds like therapy 101 or self-development 101, but right? I mean, have anyone nailed it? Maybe you guys have nailed it. I know I still get confused. But the Seven of Wands is just the sense of there is something changing in how I express my fire energy. So, my creativity, my sexuality, my passion, my life force, my vitality. And I need a second to metabolize that. I need a second to hear what that wants from me and from the world. Um, so, I don't know. I would say to you, take all the time you need this week. I would say to you, honor your need for space. I would say to you, honor your need for space even as you relate, even as you love. The right containers, the right partnerships, the right dynamics, they're not going to rush you. They're going to want you to move at a pace that feels right for your nervous system, that feels good to you, that feels safe. And at the very least, you should want that for yourself. And anything that's putting pressure on that, this week would be a good time to say, you know what? I want to respect what you need, but I also need to respect what I need. And again, that can happen in any type of dynamic, any type of relation. But for some reason here, it feels a little bit specific to romantic, intimate life. So that's what I'll share with you this week. I hope that's helpful. You can listen to the full August podcast. And we're just in the channel of these eclipses. We are definitely having some dissonance between the light of the sun and the light of the moon. And I'll say it for like the 100th time. There's something about this month that you actually benefit from not forcing clarity before clarity is ready, not confusing the bright light for the right thing. There's something about, well, I see it and it's clear, so it must be the right thing. And there's something else happening, and it would behoove you, and I would invite you to get curious about what's bubbling up underneath, what's showing up in the dream space, what's the detour calling your heart, where do you want your energy to be, what feels good on paper, but it's not really lining up in your nervous system response to it, all that kind of stuff. But there's just right now, no, don't rush anything. Don't rush anything. If anything is true, what is confusing will become clear over time. That's just true. And life is an experience to have. It's not like a race we're running. So sometimes we feel like we're getting behind, but there's really no such thing. And being fully present and giving yourself space to be fully present is a big part of what we're here to offer ourselves. So I hope you can give that to yourself this week without feeling lonely. That's kind of the sweet spot of the Seven of Wands. So I would like to think clearly and have space for myself, but I also don't want to be alone. How do I do both those things at the same time? Let me know what you find out, and happy midweek in August. And yeah, keep on keeping on. Talk to you soon. Bye.